Primul speaker se numește Filipe Carrera. Este speaker și trainer internațional de origine portugheză, cu activitate în peste 50 de țări de pe 4 continente. A scris 6 cărți traduse în 7 limbi. Una dintre cărți se regăsește și în România, Networking Ghid pentru supraviețuire, ghid de supraviețuire pentru profesioniști. Și susține cursuri în cele mai prestigioase universități din Portugalia, Spania și România. În orice training, el aduce informații, umor și o experiență internațională vastă. Filipe Carrera.
Carrera. Bună dimineața! Vorbesc un pic românesc, and that's it. So it's a pleasure to be with you guys. I will try to keep my time because I know that we are running late. So I will be something that I'm normally not, fast. So, oops. There was like a PowerPoint here. Team PowerPoint? No PowerPoint. Okay, so we'll do it without PowerPoint. Click it out. Okay, I want to talk about some trends that I think are the most important from the area that I come from. I work mainly in the digital world. I'm not a digital, but I'm working in the digital world. And I have seen a lot of things in this area because I have been working since '97, so I'm a kind of dinosaur in this. I've been a lot of time working on this, and nowadays people talk a lot about the digital world, and I saw that there were some presentations before. But we have to understand that it's not only about the tools, it's not only about the platforms, it's much, much more. It's changing behaviors. For instance, one, everything has to be just in time. If we want to work in this 21st century world, we have to understand that it's all about time. Everything has to be just in time. We have to be prepared to be just in time, to be just in time with our customers, to be just in time with our providers, to be just in time with our investors. You saw here before talking about crowdfunding. Everything has to be just in time. Also, it's about the perception of time. The perception of time is changing. Meaning, I'll give you an example. Or we can even go for a poll here. How many of you this morning were sitting in the toilet with us? Checking emails, checking. You can put your hands up. It will be fun. I wasn't because I overslept, so I had to run over here. But I will always do it. Everybody's changing their perception of time. Why I'm talking about this? Because nowadays, see how people change their perception of time. If you have a very slow service, the way to change the perception of time is you give it Wi-Fi. So people, when they enter, say, oh, Wi-Fi. So they will use the Wi-Fi while they are waiting. I saw that in a very intelligent way. The first time I went to Bogota, Colombia, the migration service takes a lot. They copy from the Americans. And it takes like a lot of time. I was waiting. The second time I went to Bogota, it was very fast because they had Wi-Fi. After 11 hours of flight, believe me, you have a lot of emails. You have a lot of Facebook updates and things like this. So it was a way of changing the perception of time. But think about this. Now we can reach customers. We can reach people when it was at their time. And also, you can see that a new generation has a different perception of time. My kids cannot stand like 5 minutes without doing nothing. I remember when I was their age that it would be normal that I would have like 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour without doing anything. because there was nothing to do. And they cannot stand. They have to have a gadget in their hands. So perception of time is changing. Another thing is perception of space. I remember those science fiction movies and series back in the 80s, things like Galactica, Star Wars, Star Trek, and they always talk about people going faster. The perception of the future was people would go faster across space in order to meet each other. Never we got the idea that we don't need to meet many times in person, because that was not the logic of the series. So if you remember, like Star Trek, they would go with a spaceship Enterprise. Well, so they go to a planet and they stay there, and they teletransport them to the surface of the planet. That was the thing. Because they need that in order to negotiate, in order to talk with the people, the natives of that planet. Nowadays, we are working to change the perception of space. Think about this. Until 10, 20 years ago, your best friends, the people that you would trust with your deepest secrets, with your deepest emotions and things like this, would be the people very close to you geographically. It would be the people that are 10 kilometers away from you. And now you have relationships that are going around the world, that you have much more deep connection with people 3,000 kilometers away than you have with your neighbor in the door in front. So this is changing a lot, because relationships between humans are not about distance, are about sharing. And now we have the tools, and we can say Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever. But these are tools that are helping people to share what they like, what they suffer, what they ambition, everything. Nowadays, we cannot see a sunset without Instagramming it. We cannot start eating. It's proper protocol. Before you eat, you have to take a picture of what you're about to eat, correct? So that's all about sharing. And that is changing the perception of space. Finally, I want to talk about a generation. And the thing that I wanted to the PowerPoint, because I had a picture of my kids, now you cannot see them. And there is a new generation that is called the millennium. This generation is a generation that no one of you belongs to, okay? Because they were born in 2000 around. And why they are so important? Not because I have two of those in my place, but because I like to observe them. They are like my guinea pigs, you know. I like to check things with them. And what I see is that they don't understand the world we live. They really don't understand. Because for them, the digital world has been always around. As I told you, I was working, I've been working since 1997 in the digital world, and I'm still a migrant. Because these guys are the real natives. For them, photography was always digital. For them, sound was always digital. Everything was digital. There are some people even that they say, well, this is a different generation or something like that. No, no, no. Think about this. They are learning the digital world like we learn a language. You speak Romanian not because you went to school to learn how to speak, because you were surrounded by things in Romanian. To me, it happened the same thing, but with Portuguese. So they are digital natives, and they don't understand how we relate to each other, how we communicate to each other, how we work, and how we learn. Because it's really, for them, it's very strange to go, for instance, to a classroom, to hear somebody saying the same thing that said to the class before. It's very strange for them. Give you an example from my youngest kid. Once I offer him a skateboard, all dismantled. And there was some instructions. And okay, so he went with the instructions and the skate. And after like half an hour, he brings back, everything is okay, done. And I asked, so did you follow the instructions? And he said, no, I didn't open them. And how do you did it? I YouTube it. This generation is a generation that is saying, their slogan is, don't tell me how to do it. Show me how to do it. And this is a very important thing. And why I bring you these trends? Because the last thing that I want is to scare you. That's my goal with my presentation. Normally people talk about the future and say nice things and everything, and a sea of opportunities. Yes, it is. But it's a sea of opportunities if you know how to surf. If you don't know how to surf, you will drown. Let me explain. For many, many years, I've been working in the digital world, and as I told you, and I always say, look out, a big wave is coming. And everybody is like saying, yeah, one time, yeah, nah. Well, I will have time. I saw the wave far, far on the horizon. It was tiny because it was far, not because it was tiny. Now I look back, and the wave is about to crush all of us if we are not able to surf. So what I'm telling you is that this is the moment to start to learn how to surf the wave. And how you do that? You have to start using technology more than only to make likes on Facebook. You have to use more technology than only watching cats playing the piano. We have to integrate technology in our day-to-day. Let me give you a short example to finish with that. How many cameras, video cameras, we have in this room? How many? In this room, I bet there are hundreds of cameras. How many of you use those cameras, for instance, to explain to a colleague how to do something? Goody. Normally we do an email explaining the 13 steps that you have to do use any kind of machine. Why we don't do a video? For my kids, this is the natural thing, because they are digital natives. Why we are carrying devices that are the best devices ever, and we are using them as they don't exist? We have to integrate as much as possible in our day-to-day life, meaning personal and professional. And you have to start it yesterday, because the wave is coming. Thank you very much.